Hello everyone. My name is Shelby. Welcome back to my channel, Grace with Books. Today I'm going to be doing my February plan with me. It is another month, which means another bullet journal video, and I'm very excited for this plan with me because I kind of decided to go for this typewriter / love notes theme. So you're going to be seeing a lot of typed up letters and just some light pinks and flowers and hearts and other things that remind me of this month of love. As usual, we are going to start with the mood board. Once again, these are just pictures I have printed out from Pinterest. I create a board every month for the spread that I'm doing, and I just wanted things that kind of meshed well together. Some hearts, some flowers, some typewriters, and some typed up notes that I found. So I really wanted to be light, cohesive, and airy, and something that would just make me smile to look at. Doing the mood board while bullet journaling is really one of my favorite parts of this whole thing, just because I don't usually get to collage a lot, and sometimes you just gotta collage, and I find it really fun to find places for all the different photos to go. It's like a puzzle only I know, and I just have so much fun with it every single month. It's definitely one of my favorite parts. For the title page, I decided to go with a typewriter. I thought it fit into the theme of love notes really well, because where else are you going to write your Valentine's notes but on a typewriter? Obviously, I do not have a typewriter. I've always wanted one. I think it would be pretty cool to have one. So, I kind of made my own in my journal. You have no idea how many times I sketched out the typewriter before I finally sketched it into my journal. I definitely wanted it to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, and I love how it turned out. I think the outline turned out really well, and now I'm kind of just coloring it in. I decided to make the typewriter mostly pink just for the theme of the light pinks of the month, and I love how it turned out. I think it's a super cute and unique cover page idea, and it just fit the theme of the month very well. The next page is the calendar page, and this is basically the same as I've had it before, obviously with some color differences, and the only other difference I added was for the title. I did it with stamps. I have these lowercase black stamps that I used, and I really like them. They're a little bit dirty, which is why you kind of see some of the edges of the stamp appear in the title, but I just kind of whited those out with my white Jelly Roll pen. You'll see I make a ton of mistakes throughout this spread, but mistakes are part of life, and it's just good to kind of fix them and move on. So there are definitely parts of the spread that did not turn out beautifully and amazing and perfectly, but it's the imperfections that really make it what unique to you. Finally, I'm just adding my events tab at the bottom of the page where I can pull down any big events from the calendar so I can see them more clearly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the calendar spread. Very simple, very easy to use. On the next page, we have my to be read and my days read spread. These are pretty much the same, though I have to say I love the fact that February has 28 days because it lined up so perfectly for the days read. I'm kind of obsessed with it. But anyway, I just have my little bookshelf with all the books that I'm planning to read over the month. I made these a little bigger than I did last month because I ended up having way too many books on this shelf last month. So I decided to go for a more minimal approach this February, but I love how it turned out. Usually I love how this page turns out just because it's super easy to use and super simple. I added the titles for both of these things with the stamps once again because I think it kind of fits into the theme of lettering. So yeah, I'm happy with how all this looks. And then I added some hearts and stars and things like that to embellish on the spread because it was looking a little too plain for me. Now, these are the two pages that I messed up the most on, so bear with me as I get very frustrated with myself over the next few minutes. but these are my YouTube tracker page and my brainstorming page. In the YouTube tracker page, I have 4 boxes which represent the 4 weeks of the month, and in those boxes I basically put what I am planning to film that week and what videos are being scheduled to go up that week. So it's like an overview look at all the videos I want to post throughout the month, with a little section for video ideas at the bottom. Now, have you noticed where I've messed up yet? Basically, I started writing brainstorm on my YouTube page instead of on the actual brainstorm page, but this is a slip up that I won't realize I have done until a little bit later. I think I just must have been thinking ahead to the next page and then wrote out brainstorm instead of tracker, but you know, I'll fix it in my own Shelby way in a moment, so you'll just have to be annoyed with that right now as I am. Now I'm just adding my title for the actual brainstorm page. I decided to overlay 2 pieces of paper for it just to try something different for the page. Now here is the magical moment where I realized that I messed up on the previous page, so I'm just putting a piece of paper over the wrong letters, and I was a little too lazy to do the stamps again, so I decided to just write out video ideas, but of course I messed this up too, and the whiteout jelly roll wasn't working, so I had to take another piece of paper so I could write the ideas part of it. And while it isn't exactly what I had imagined in my head for this spread, it kind of does have that scrapbook feel, which is overall kind of what I'm going for with the love notes. On to the final 2 pages, I have my trademark books read sheet and my monthly favorites sheet. So first with the books read, this is basically the same as I do it every single month, with all my lines depicting the books that I'm going to read, and then columns for the title of the book, the rating of the book, if it was a physical ebook or audiobook, if I've reviewed it on Goodreads yet, and the dates I've read it. So this is something I do every single month, and it's such a great way for me to see the books I'm reading and kind of get some stats on it about what I'm reading and how I'm rating them. So this is just a pretty useful spread, albeit a little plain. I just kind of added the title to it and not much else. Maybe I'll add some stuff on later, but for right now I kept it pretty plain. The final spread I'm going to do for you guys is that monthly favorites page. This is something I started doing this year, and last month I kept this page pretty plain, but I'm still experimenting with how I want this page to look, so I decided to try something different this month. Once again, I'm just doing that overlaying 2 different pieces of paper to kind of create a border around it, and I think I'm just going to write down some of my favorite memories and books and TV shows and movies from the month, which is kind of nice to look back on, because then you can kind of see like what were your favorite things each month. I think we often forget about that when we get to the end of the month. So this is kind of just like a little memory capsule where I can record things that I've enjoyed to look back on later. And that is it for this February spread, so let's go to the flip through. So in the end, this spread isn't exactly what I had imagined for it, but I still like it. I like that it's a little messy. I like that it's a little rough around the edges because I think it looks really nice with all those messy things. I added in the days of the month and some filler stars and hearts so I can just get rid of some of that white space, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I think I might go in later and write down some of my own love notes with a pen to fill up some of the white space. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it'll be pretty useful for the month. My spreads don't really change that much from month to month, just kind of the themes that I do change. I absolutely love bullet journaling with you guys. It's one of my favorite videos to film each month, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell to get updates on when I post. I post every single week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!